I forgot how we started off.
Just with your voice,
Oh, it's
usually.
my voice, isn't it? Okay, hello, and welcome to another episode of the 01206 Book Club. Last week we talked about Frank Stevens' part from Ex-Rental. This week we're joined by a couple more Ipswich legends, and we're going to talk about Ben Rodriguez's part from Playing Fields. So, like I said, we're joined by Richard Utteridge, also known as Utty. Hello, Utty, you all right? There
I'm
he
good.
is in the corner. And we're also joined with long-time Ipswich legend Carl Vance, who now lives in Bristol. Gives a wave, Carl.
Evening.
Evening. There he is. What we wanted to do this evening is just talk through some of that, because last week we touched on kind of the Ipswich scene. We talked about Fisons, we talked about that historical kind of impact it had to the whole of East Anglia, and we kind of just wanted to pick up on that a little bit more, hence looking at Ben's part, and we'll talk about how Playing Fields was kind of instrumental in bringing a lot of skateboarders to kind of the attention of skateboarders in Britain, and kind of raising that profile a little bit. What we were interested in, and guys, you might be able to help me out with this, is I just wanted to talk through some of that history of the Ipswich scene. Now, off air a minute ago, we were talking about the kind of timing of that Ipswich scene. Would you say that, because we were talking about the videos and how they come out, would you say that kind of 92 was the time when it really was kicking off, or was it just still quite local then? Or
yeah, I'd say it's pretty local. And then maybe, I guess, 93, because people started to get cars.
Oh, right, yeah. The age, I suppose.
Yeah, that changes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because I think I must have had a car. Yeah, I passed my test 92.
Oh, right, okay.
And then Carl couldn't have been that far behind.
Yeah, early 93, I think I passed. So.
Yeah.
Did you both have cars? Because I remember you talked about the yellow wagon.
Yeah, the yellow wagon.
Classic.
Yeah, bundle in the back of it. 2 seats in the front, just empty in the back.
That thing lasted for years.
Yeah, until I crashed.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So from 93, there was always video cameras around then, because this is something we talked about last week, is this idea that Frank always seemed to have a video camera with him, or at least wanting to film stuff. Is that something that consciously all of you guys were kind of into as a kind of scene, or is that something that's always been a part of what you were doing, or is it something new that happened around that time?
I don't know. I think the first time, like, we actually, actually hired a camera.
Oh,
like
wow.
That's probably 1990 at each, you think?
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Now you come to mention
Well, you
it.
hired a camera, like from a...
Yeah, because cameras were
really expensive,
like 800 quid
Yeah.
then, so 30 years ago. So yeah, I think like Tim Brown, Stick, and Ben Gisby went up and like hired a camera. We all like chipped in whatever it was,
Amazing.
5 quid, 10 quid, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we planned to make a video in a weekend, but obviously that didn't happen. So, but that's cool.
That is a deadline. That is a deadline.
Proper
that was called Waste of Tape. That video was called. I don't know if they got it. Still.
Apt, very apt. Waste of tape.
So it doesn't exist to this day then? Someone
Frank probably has it, I would have thought, but
deep in his archives.
that means you'll never see it. But.
No, exactly, yeah.
In the archives.
They're like Starkey's photos.
Wow.
The same dungeon.
Oh.
Exactly. That took Artie literally 5 seconds to get into it there. Starkey, if you're watching.
That's a whole different.
Yeah, that's another episode. We haven't got time for that.
Archives.
Archives.
Archives. That is a title. That is a working
one of his
title.
photos on Science versus Life.
What was it? What was that?
I can't remember what it was.
Oh yeah.
It was a Chewy one.
A Chewy one.
The comp on.
Oh shit! Yeah, I saw that.
All right.
And I was equally surprised when it said Stark Photo as well. I was like, fucking hell, they got out there.
And there was a link, and I clicked on it straight away, but there's nothing on it.
No
He's joined Instagram, hasn't he? But put no photos on there.
Yeah. That's the classic move. Join and lurk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to the timeline. That little Stark-Eye
Yeah.
tangent. So the first major Ipswich video that people would know about. Artie, what was that? What was the first major one?
Well, we did Losers, then Stress. I wasn't in them, but I was in.
So they don't count. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Maybe BGPs and the band.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah.
They don't have that on IMDb, do they?
Yeah.
Like BGPs, that'd be pretty.
Nah,
So the
but like
first,
Kaboom and Tough Guys are the two. Tough Guys, definitely.
Yeah.
Because then you suddenly got the sidewalk heads are suddenly taking notice.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing. I think that's the time when everyone took notice, isn't it? During Tough Guys kind of period.
Didn't
Yeah.
they use screen grabs or something? Is that right? Frank?
Frank had screen grabs in a sidewalk earlier
right?
on.
That was Fat Magazine.
Fat, yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, Fat magazine. I knew it. I thought it's not Sidewalk, but what magazine is it? It's Fat
Yeah,
with
I've got that
a H,
somewhere. I can
with a
pick that out.
PH.
That PH, Jesus.
That was probably 92, would you say?
Really?
Or 93?
Yeah, maybe 93. Sidewalk started mid 95.
Right. But Fat magazine, I remember that. That's crazy.
Yeah, what was it? Three issues or something?
It's like 3.5, I think. They did like a pre-launch one that's like super rare. They just gave it out down at South Bank.
Oh wow!
Because Tim Leighton Boyce came down to Ipswich.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
What?
Is that how it started then?
yeah. He came down because Frank got to know. Carl will remember. Dude from London.
Oh, Grant.
Grant, yeah.
Dude from
And he
London.
knew Tim Leighton Boyce, and he came down to Ipswich. And
Wow!
I've arranged, and all we had to skate was like undercover at Greyfriars.
Oh shit!
And it's
Oh
like
God.
he's standing in this like dank car park,
Oh, trying to get a photo.
wondering what to shoot. It's like,
Oh no!
Desperate times, though.
That is desperate times.
Frank,
Yeah.
I think Frank tried to backside flip crown pulls and snapped his board,
Yeah,
I think, and they put that in.
Oh really?
I don't know. I think they got a few other things, but they never used it.
Oh okay.
I think it's because we went to Halford's car park, so
yeah.
it wasn't.
Halford's car park. That is a legendary spot right there. I think every town has got a Halford's car park that you can
Yeah.
skate in some way, haven't they?
Yeah.
So the video grabs were from what video? That was ended up in Fat magazine. What was the video?
They were just what Tim Leighton Boyce took, and we never saw that.
Oh really?
Yeah. So,
Oh, he'd videoed it.
yeah, he videoed it, and yeah, that was
Oh
it.
shit! Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
because there was
realise
going to be
that.
like a fat video, wasn't there? Or a rad video and then a fat video, and it never happened. I think some of that's ended up on. I think some of it's on YouTube, and I think there's loads of like the sequences, the Simon Evans stuff and things like that.
Oh,
That's,
sick! I've never realised that. So Kaboom, what year was that?
94.
94. Yeah.
94. And did everyone have parts in that?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that was the first video that actually got finished because I think Frank had done his section, and I don't think he could be bothered to wait for everyone else.
No one else is getting a part. No one else is getting a part. It's done. It's done. The masterpiece is
So yeah,
over.
we started. Yeah, that was from Losers. Then we started Stress, and then same thing happened. So
Okay.
I think Kaboom was the first one with pretty much everyone in it. I would have thought.
Yeah.
And was that tape to tape, the classic kind of standard 2 video recorders, or?
Yeah, I think Kaboom was, and then for Tough Guys, I think we all chipped in and got some sort of mixer.
Oh, a mixing desk.
Yeah.
Oh, that is tech. If you're running a mixing desk in the early days, you are up there. That is why that's classic, legendary stuff. Is there any video wipes in it and stuff like that, like effects wipes?
Star Wars.
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
just pure cuts. That's what we want. Nice.
Yeah.
I know Jessop's was starting to do because we got we could never mix audio with the really early stuff, and I think that's why we never made our first video until a little bit later, because we were really struggling to we'd put like music on, but then you'd lose the skate sounds.
Yeah.
And then I got from Jessup's like a little sound mixer thing and a million cables, and then I was like, oh, okay, now it kind of makes sense. And I remember they had like a crazy sort of probably £100 or something like that, was like the basic sort of 2 video channel mixer kind of thing, but it was out of my price range at the time.
I remember having a mixing desk attached to a tape recorder that used to belong to my old Spectrum, and I'd play the music in that, out of that. It would go through the mixer into the back of the video player, and everything had to be all synced at once. Like my hands were poised and everything. Like, press the record, go, 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 go. And then, so there was always slightly out or slightly not quite there.
Okay.
That's the joys of those videos, isn't it? That's the thing.
But there's good production values on Kaboom and Tough Guys, though.
Yeah, I thought that.
For the year, definitely.
Well, like on Shannon's section, like they edited in those little clips of Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuts, isn't it, when you think back to it?
Back then, it's like bonkers.
So where was that one edited, Deb? Was that at Frank's house or something?
Ben Rodriguez's house. Ben's
that was...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Ben, he arrived here in Ipswich in '93. That's the time period I had in mind. And he was just living abroad at that time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he came from Gibraltar, but yeah, like I'm not sure how long he was there for, but yeah, just moved to Marcham Heath, and then just one day he came into town, and that was it.
And just hooked up with you guys.
Yeah, he came with Roscoe.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, well, I remember seeing him with Roscoe, because Roscoe's from Marcham.
Okay, makes sense.
Weirdly, well, I say weirdly, my brother knew Ben before me, because he knew him from like sixth form at Farlingate.
Right.
So when I first met him, it's like there's a little bit of a connection, because it was like, oh, you know my brother.
Amazing.
That's it. That was the end.
So it's like, you know, there's no breaking that was breaking the ice.
Yeah.
The rest is history, kind of thing.
Was he skating it beforehand, like in Gibraltar? Was he already like on it?
Yeah.
And just...
I mean, yeah, he was good. First time I saw him.
Yeah. And he was with his brother. His brother skated as well, yeah.
A little bit,
bit.
not so much.
Not so much,
No.
but they skated together, and then when he came over here, is that right? Or
I don't know.
I remember his brother coming out a few times, but not a whole lot.
So he kind of got there in '93, just made friends with everyone, and you were kind of saying he was like a catalyst for the scene. He just kind of sparked it off and got everyone kind of motivated, something new, something exciting to kind of push you on.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was skating good anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just
that bit extra, I guess.
Just that bit extra.
Mm.
A little bit extra. Nice.
I think it's always that when someone new comes to town, even if it's just a visit, it's kind of like everyone else kind of, I don't know, not steps it up, but like
sort of raises to meet it.
Yeah,
it just amps you up a bit, I guess, doesn't it?
I think that is a motivator.
Fresh blood, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that's a motivator of a lot of scenes over the years. Is if something new happens, whether that's a park being built or whether it's a new person coming in. Sometimes that you just need that little, I don't know, that little thing to just kick it off.
That's amazing, though.
I think if you look at timelines of any scene, whether that's Colchester, whether that's Ipswich, whether that's Norwich, they're all based on new people coming into that area, aren't they? And they suddenly have. You think about Ipswich as a scene over the years and going back all the way through the history, there's always been something else that sparked it off or something else that's kicked it on. And it's crazy that you guys have been through that whole period pretty much, though, haven't you?
But then I guess another catalyst was when Sideboard and things started recognising Ipswich as a lot going on. And that's getting pushed everyone to do more and want to get in there and get them down, especially with Fison's going on as well. It's just bloody...
Because they haven't really hit that east of England that much, have they?
No. I guess the closest they got, maybe Colchester. There was all the barn, obviously. You know about that.
Yeah, definitely.
And the sort of Essex parks, Rom, I know it's nearer
Rom and
London.
stuff like
Leon
that,
Sea, which is still further down there.
Yeah, there was lots that around that area, wasn't there? But definitely that Suffolk kind of didn't go over the border.
Yeah, and they didn't even like head up to Norwich. That was like
no man's land.
I was left off the list for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then like you say, it just kicked off mid-90s.
Mid-90s. It's
Mid-90s.
all the rage. All the rage at the moment, isn't it?
There you
The
go.
same with Norwich, because like Fowler and Habgood were living there,
Yeah.
were they going to uni or something? Or one of them was. And I think that scene kicked off with them, because we were down there. We were travelling up. Was it Tuesday nights, Carl, for the lads club?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Sprowston days.
Yeah, Sprowston days.
And suddenly, we're getting to know Fowler, Habgood, and obviously Frank and Rod. They start hooking up with them, then they hook up with Channer, and suddenly, might be a bit of a leap, but suddenly, we're making a video called Playing Fields.
Yeah.
Is
You can see that though, from what you're saying, the
happened?
timeline. Isn't it?
Yeah. Is that how it happened? Just that connection, just through skating, not like.
Yeah.
Because it didn't seem, it was quite a natural thing, wasn't it? It just seemed to happen out of nowhere. It wasn't like, not that there was not lots of planning to it, but all of a sudden this video comes out and everyone's just like, what the fuck? Like there's just, do you know what I mean? Bits from everywhere. And it's like this huge big video, but it's totally independent, isn't it? There's no, there's no money behind it, is there? Or
no, there wasn't really a hype machine back then anyway for videos. They would just, even like I remember Plan B coming out, and you'd be like, "Well, Slam's got a new video." And you went, "What?"
Yeah.
And there may have been an ad, but we used to have like such a time delay with mags that you'd maybe get the magazine. But even then, they might not even put it in the magazines, like 101 videos. You'd just walk into Slam and be like, "What's that?" And
UK video just being that big, like I could never work it out. All of a sudden it was everywhere. All of a sudden it was just like that's all people were talking about as well. Just like, have you seen that video? It's fucking blowing minds. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, there's lots of different people filming this thing then, and then one person putting it together, or people contributing to that as well.
Yeah, I don't know who edited actually.
Who edited?
Was that Simon?
Kotowitz.
Yeah, who was with Death for a long time. I think I remember reading something that he was in a studio editing it up together, but I think it was, again, like Dave mentioned, a whole bunch of people filming all over the place as well, because Matt Fowler, a lot of his stuff's down in I can't remember where it is, like north of the M25, heading out towards Wickham Way and stuff like that. I didn't really narrow it down very much.
I've got shit geography, I tell you.
You have to Google map it. But I remember skating some spots when Russ was at uni. We went over there went down from Wickham to like that bandstand bit in the street, and the benches, ledges really down there. I remember around that time we were doing loads of travelling, so we'd see a lot of the spots that we had seen before in when the video dropped, and it was like, oh, that's there. We didn't know it was there, kind of thing, because again, it wasn't really the spots thing that used to be in Rad or was so out of date that you just someone knew somebody who knew where that spot was, and you go and do that.
Yeah. It did connect a lot of people. Carl, Artie, do you think it kind of really landed Ipswich skateboarding, that video, though, in terms of like you had two people local from the area with full parts in it, and suddenly the whole country can see this? For me, it felt like the traffic towards Ipswich after that video came out seemed to increase a lot. Like a lot of people were like, well, let's go there and see. Do you know what I mean? That classic thing, you see something in a video and you're like, that's just down the road, I'm going to go to it. And I remember MFI after that just being fucking just swamped at weekends.
Pretty good looking spot, isn't it?
What's that?
It's a pretty good looking spot. You can see why you'd want to go and check it out.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know.
I think it's pretty unique, really, from what I remember. That everyone was getting into flat bars then as well. That was really a big thing. So they were square as well, which is rare too. And to have your choice of
truck width,
bar after bar, do lines
as well.
Was the building ever open? The MFI build, was it just shut down, or did it ever open?
Yeah, no, it was
business.
I can't remember. Like when we first started skating, it MFI was actually open,
Right.
but then I don't know. Like we didn't skate it that much, so maybe we skated it when it closed.
Right. Okay.
But
Of course, there's no Sunday opening back then.
yes, no Sunday opening.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Close at like 5:30 or 6, whatever it was. So summertime, skate there all the time. I get like out of hours time. So
It's perfect, wasn't it? 'Cause it's just out of the way of the general public
You can
and
park
right by the
there.
train station as
Yeah,
well.
no,
for
no
people coming to
lurkers,
visit.
no lurkers at all. Just it's pretty
Yeah.
good like that. So.
Yeah, you could spend all day there. It's ridiculous, really. Never actually opened, or we didn't. I don't remember get kicked off.
Spend all day there. that you mean?
I can see that being one of those kind of black hole spots where you're trying to move people on to go somewhere else. And was like, I just got to get like for filming this line or something like that. And
Corner, yeah.
but it was so close to Fison's, so
Yeah.
skate either one or the other. Or
But
you
that's
just literally like pubs across the road kind of thing. You'd have
it's
friends
not-
in
it's
either
not-
one,
it's not,
and
it's
you'd
not
drift
far,
between the
is it?
two. Kind of.
well, we'd all go from one to the other, like to all the spots through town. Really, we kind of in
There's
the
a
end.
lot in a small space, wasn't there? Really, if you
Yeah.
think about it,
Yeah.
like skating distance, anyway.
That's
Yeah.
You've got Cromwell and then Fison's and then
Yeah.
all around.
Probably
that area.
start off Crown Pools.
Oh yeah,
Crown
yeah.
Pools, then down to the church, and then Greyfriars, Fison's, MFI, Sainsbury's, Halfords.
Ben's Park's probably got
Yeah,
most of those spots, hasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, should we watch Ben's part? We'll go through it and then we'll kind of have a look at some of those spots and maybe talk a bit more about some of those spots. Is that a good idea? Should we try that?
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm just going to share my screen with you then. Can we all see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I always like the intros to these with the kids' photos and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird. I'm going to turn it down because as much as I love Sepultura, in the middle of a group chat, it's kind of hard to know what's going on. So, Carl, have you got? Go on.
I was just going to say, I always thought it was like a kind of a riff on Grange Hill in some ways, or something like that.
What this concept?
Well, I mean, you haven't got like the sausage on a fork flying in, and everything like that, but the opening bit with the playground and the kit and the playground noises and stuff like that.
You meant Sepultura.
Yeah, I did too.
I was like, what?
Gripper! Mr. Bronson! Yeah.
Flaming sausage.
Why does it? Do you, Rich or Carl? Do you know how the choice of music came to be, or was it just something that kind of happened? Because he always had quite heavy music, didn't he? And
Yeah, I think everyone got to pick what they wanted, and he's into this type of stuff. So
did he have this in Tough Guys and Kaboom? The same sort of like
no,
tempo
not
of
at all.
music?
No.
He did in Kaboom.
in Kaboom, there was, I can't remember what it was, but
What's he got in Kaboom?
what's that?
What song is it in Kaboom?
Another shouty one, wasn't it?
Another shouty one. I always thought you had Slayer in a part. I
Yeah,
don't know
I
why.
think it might be Slayer or something like that.
Angel of Death. It's not that one, is
No,
it?
that was the slam section.
Yeah. That's why I get mixed up in this video. Oh, I knew it was something anyway.
He had a jazzy track in one of them, wasn't it? Is it Tough
Yeah,
Guy?
it's
He had a
interesting.
jazzy
A
track.
jazzy. All right, Dad. Chill out.
He had Marvin Gaye or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was the
Tough
second, because he
Guys.
had two sections. He had two sections in Tough Guys. The first
That's it.
one was to Rick James,
Oof.
and then
Oh yeah, he did have Rick James, didn't he?
yeah, and then he had we'd edited that section, and then he'd had a haircut, so he looked quite suave. So
Yeah.
we gave him Marvin Gaye at the end, an extra bonus.
Nice.
I love
Suave.
that little bonus section's amazing there.
Yeah,
But-
that's it.
So this line here, whereabouts is this? There's a road sign there, but I'm not sure of the location. Carl,
Yeah.
you were here when you're off this one.
Yeah, I was there. I can't think what it is. Where it was in London.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I skated there once. I want to say near St. Paul's, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's near
Yeah.
St. Paul's or something.
But
But
yeah,
that ledge he's holding onto is so thin though, isn't it?
It looks.
It's so slippery. I went there once.
pretty high. but I remember it being like a lot of security, so I think he only had pretty much one go at it. So
it's so gnarly, that thing, though, isn't it? I always thought, it just as the part starts, the music kicks in, and he just ollies that up there, and you can see he's quite small in stature, isn't he? And then that kickflip on there is just sketchy. Just the kickflip's not sketchy, but the surface and everything.
Yeah.
Looks like horrible, doesn't it?
The
But
adrenaline pumping
was he
there,
always
I think.
into like big stuff, like, because he does quite a lot of like gnarly shit in this video?
Yeah.
But
that was kind of always the thing in Ipswich. Like a lot of people would like do big stuff. So
it's like burly, isn't it?
yeah, like a lot. You know, if there's just one person that does it, kind of everyone else is stood around watching. But I think pretty much, yeah, a lot of people were into skating gaps and
Big
shed
shit.
and stuff. So
I think as a kid, you kind of like, especially if you live in a local area, there's not hundreds of like perfect blocks and stuff like that. So you're just used to like, oh, here's a big set of stairs at my old school. I'm going to huck myself down it. And that, do you know what I mean? That will satisfy that need, anyway.
Speak for yourself, Dave.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I definitely did none of that, mate. There's no hucking of my body down anything. So, where is this? This is London as well, is it?
yeah, again, I can't think where it is, but
That's sick. That board slide popping out is just fucking gnarly as well.
That's what people are doing nowadays.
Yeah,
Exactly, all that pop out stuff or pop over and stuff like that. So this is where it really kicks in, this ollie, isn't it? This is Ipswich though, this next
It's
one.
Halifax, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, where the handrail is. 'Cause, yeah.
That's kind of like a standard. If you're from that area or you've skated there, you must ollie that gap. It's like, if you go to that school, it's got to happen.
Even Dave Underwood got himself down there.
Exactly.
Gosh, did he?
Adam, did you get down that?
I walked down the steps.
Artie, did you get down it?
Pretty much did the same with Adam.
Nice. Nice. Carl, did you throw yourself down that?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. It's gnarly though. It's gnarly, isn't it?
It's a big gap.
Yeah. I don't like it. Whenever I saw it, I was like, nope, not for me. I'll walk down the stairs with everyone else.
Adam's still there.
Yeah. So Carl, this spot here, where is this?
Cromwell Square, it's called.
That's Cromwell, yeah.
The church.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just called it the church. But
It's on the top, isn't it? With the benches down below.
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. It's when we first started skating it, you could just skate the stairs and the ledges down the stairs and the benches because there was all like bushes over the ledges. But over time, they just cut the bushes down, so you got to skate like more of the ledges. So.
And the ledges on the top, are they just like normal pavings? Because I was always really surprised how well they slid and how well they ground on video. I know in real life they weren't as forgiving as they look on video.
They were really good until like BMX and kind of got big, and then
eggs fucked them up, didn't they? They all got pegged out and smashed and stuff like that.
Pegged out.
Another catchphrase. How gnarly! I just love this back tail though.
That's a good still there. That's a brilliant still.
It's a beautiful still. And the thing is, at this stage, people, especially in Britain, I know it sounds weird, but we're not throwing loads of back tails in lines and stuff like that. I don't know. It's one of those ones that's super stylish. Always has that classic look to it, and it's not one that's thrown in there a lot, is it? If you see what I mean?
No. It's a big ledge to back tail.
Yeah,
like that.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, I think
definitely
it is,
so,
definitely. And it's so smooth as well. Just that kind of. He's just got this nice, like, kind of control about him. Did he always have that kind of? Just everything's just like feet always in the right place. Pop, just know, look, that pop over that bin. We all know those bins are horrible.
Look at that scared couple.
Look at the BGPs there, man. They are shitting themselves.
He's got a cigarette in his mouth, hasn't he? Look at him.
Ah, that is an amazing still.
Look at how high his trousers are. He's still stuck in 92.
No, that is like some kind of like trendy kid now, isn't it? With cut-offs like all the way up there. So I like that. That's right. So these rails, where are these, Cole? I've seen you get down these as well.
That's disgusting, that boardside. That is an awful rail to boardside.
Yeah, that rail basically, I found it a couple of weeks before I went driving around, like looking for some spots.
Yeah.
And it was Sidewalk had come down for the weekend, and that was on the Friday night. And I was like, oh yeah, we should go check this rail. And then basically the guy was in his front room eating his dinner.
I was going to say, that's his house there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Went out of his back garden.
So basically, like, we were like, yeah, have it there. So he got out the car, and within, I think he had 2 or 3 goes, and he got it on footage, and I think he got a sequence as well. Like,
So
How
It's a long rail.
is that the back gate?
There's like no run up, isn't there?
Yeah. So he did it. So he did it that evening, and then like the guy came out, so we kind of legged it, and then we went back the next day, and the guy was at work, so we're like, all right, cool, skate it. It's the one I 50 it in playing fields as well.
Yeah, you 50, and there's a slam where you trying to do doubles with someone 50 in it, isn't there?
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, Tom Crow from
You
Norwich.
fucking. And
Tom
you,
Crow, yeah.
I saw a still that the Playing Fields Instagram had put on. It was just you just eating it, just on the end of the rail. I was just like, that is nice of them to put that there. So did you have to open the back gate?
Well, Ben didn't there because we were like in and out. But then the next day we went back and the guy was at work, so we just opened the gate and got a bit more run up.
Had a go on the swing ball.
Yeah.
I go on the swing ball.
Had to go on his swing ball. That is a
But then
Unbelievable.
when we were skating it on the Saturday, a neighbour came out and to chuck us out.
Yeah.
And we carried on skating.
So
So it's a pretty hard spot to skate. Shut up, you lot. Jesus.
it's the mental picture. I just imagine a guy coming home from work and there's like
2 dudes playing swing ball. Yeah.
They're bored.
Don't make me have to put a cut in it. Come on. Let's get it.
Right, I'm back in the room.
You're back. So we're moving on here.
Ooh.
Where's that spot? Is that Ipswich?
Yeah, it's Ipswich.
I don't recognise that at all.
I've seen
That's
this
the back
sequence.
181, isn't it, Carl?
Yeah, that's the one. It's just down, kind of. If you left where the skate park is like, I don't know, like half a
Where's
mile
the
away from the
drive?
skate park. But yeah, it's quite a big gap. It doesn't look it, but it is pretty big. Like,
It's pretty fucking big.
You got
It's just-
thread the needle, haven't you, and duck.
yeah, that's it.
But Cole, you backside 180 that, right?
Yeah, going the other way.
Going the other way.
What?
Through those poles.
What, through the poles?
Yeah.
What? Backwards. You went through the poles backwards, yeah? Jesus. Fucking
Get
hell.
under there.
Yeah, how'd you get under there? Was that a supreme? Is that why you do that supreme like duck as you go through? Like your head's coming off if you don't.
Was it similar run up? Coming the other way?
It's
It's
clear.
better run up because you
Yeah.
didn't have to ollie up the curb. Like,
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the gnarly thing with Ben doing it there. There's that little ollie up the curb as well, isn't there? Which would fuck you up.
Got those.
we put a grind block in the middle of it one time. That was pretty good. But it's
What, across it?
yeah, it's like in the middle of it, and then just do some tricks.
Shit, channel to channel. He's always got that, like, whenever he's doing an ollie like that, though, he's always got that full, like, boned, like, ollie, like, pose, isn't he? Like, if you can always still, any part of this video where he's doing an ollie, they're always at that perfect trajectory. None of those kind of, like, half-assed ones. They're always, like, proper trajectory. Which is rad. Oh. That is huge, isn't it?
I can never remember the name of that.
Up and
school.
over, isn't it?
Castle Hill.
That's the one. It's got
Extra
really good
points for
banks
gloves as well.
Well, what, did he always have cold hands? Because there's something in. You look in all the footage. He's always got them. Either his jumper pulled
He's
over
come
his
from
hands.
Gibraltar.
If you never played swing ball before, come on.
It's dangerous. Health and safety risk.
Pro spingle glove.
With the cold hands.
Rich, any insight there? Did he have cold hands all the time?
I don't know. I know our ground is just gnarly rough, so
Maybe.
I don't
maybe
remember
that's-
him wearing lots of gloves. It
I
could have
think,
just
it's
been
just,
winter.
I think it's just that one video. He has it in the sequence in a minute, but he's wearing
That
gloves.
looks pretty
I
wintry.
think maybe one of his sponsors at the time had gloves, so maybe.
Gloves.
It's very gloves.
Glove sponsor.
he's like Frank though. In the winter, he gets down to his t-shirt,
Mm.
whereas we're all got like
Hoodies and
Yeah.
everything.
Many
couple
layers
of,
as we
couple
can.
of hoodies on. He's like, "Nah, I'll get down to my t-shirt, but I'll put my gloves on just to,
Yeah, to let them know it's cold.
Yeah.
That's one of those backs. That's one of those backside flips where it's a proper like full 180 as well. It's not like a catch and turn. It's like one of those folding ones. I just love those ones. Like, just you know what I mean?
Who's filming? Do we know the other guy filming him?
That's you, Munden, don't you remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who is that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Could be anyone, couldn't it?
Tough. Is that Mint? No, it's not Mint.
No,
I don't know.
it's just really early, isn't it?
It's hard to tell, isn't it?
It's not
Illusion.
Shadwell, is it? No. Okay. Whereabouts is this? I mean,
That's Ipswich.
I know it's Ipswich, but
Yeah.
it's Crown Paul's on the way to Crown Paul's. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And there's that weird spot further on from there.
Got to say, not a spot.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
not a spot, is it? No,
No.
they're not fun to skate. They're super high, aren't they, Carl?
High, yeah.
They get higher as you go along, but I think they're still there, but there's security there all the time.
That
So
one.
that's like
One was quite
a
high.
corner one, like a hit, like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's over
a.
the.
You have to get
over
up
the road.
onto it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the highest part, and the smallest.
That is
Yeah.
Steve's right there. Look,
8
look.
bricks ish.
Through the post as well.
Desert Storm camos running that shit. Just looking rugged as fuck. East Coast as fuck there. That is awesome.
Camo with white shoes.
Yeah,
Those
that's-
globes as well. Those first run of globes were.
Strong look, strong look.
Globes. God, yeah, I forgot about globes.
Where's this?
I don't even know what those shoes were called because they were Etnies rip-offs, really.
Like skull rip-offs, is that right? Is that
They were
the-
good, those ones.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't know
rad,
if they had a
those
name or because that was the only shoe they did. When
For a little while, wasn't it? Is Globe an Australian company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where it's from?
The skate shop I worked at the time, they just like appeared in a box with next to no information, and that was kind of it. There was,
Here, have
but,
these.
but they were cheaper and they were decent than Duff's.
Yeah, they were cheap.
They
They
were-
were really good quality, I thought. So.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, look at that turn. That's a lovely
Sorry,
back foot.
Duff rip-offs, not Etnies.
How did he get on Globe? Do you know that story? Or
I think it was from when Sidewalk came down. I don't know. I think maybe they had connections and
just hooked it up?
yeah.
Hooked it up, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because no one else rode for Globe, just Ben, wasn't it? Or did other
No,
people?
I think it was like Harry. Like,
Yeah, I mean locally, no one
Locally.
else.
not at the time. Like I did afterwards, and then Shannon did
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
But that was a few years after. But yeah, I can't remember. Like they had quite a fairly big UK team, but I can't. It was like him, Harry, maybe even Channer or Matt Fowler.
Yeah, I
No,
think
it was
Fowler was
right.
on it.
There was quite a few of them, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So who at this time? Who else is he sponsored by? Is Globe,
He was getting Estee stuff.
Estee,
Estee, yeah,
STM. I think.
STM, and that's a board company, right?
Yeah, but I think they distributed Treefort, and he kind of got on better with them. So
Treefort. Wow.
Generally-
Oh, I remember that. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Was that,
Me and
was that
June are
something to do with Maple? Was that something to do with Maple Treefort? Am I getting it all confused now?
both
I don't know.
trees.
Both trees. Thank you for that, for filling that blank for me. Brilliant, excellent work. So this lip slide, moving on.
Yes.
Where's
On a
this
wooden
space?
bench made from a tree. Yep.
Thank you. Good connection. Good
I don't know.
segue.
Artie, do you know where that is? I don't.
I don't recognise that school. I don't know.
It's not. I thought it was. What's it called? The 3 up, 3 down one.
No, it's not.
No, it's
free
not,
up
is
for
it?
a
No.
day, is it?
That looks good though. If the benches
Yeah,
there.
it looks rad. That does.
You pretty much lip slid a picnic table downstairs every time there was.
Every session.
So like,
If you put a picnic bench down, if you put a picnic bench downstairs, that's getting lipped, isn't it? Look, it's rad, isn't it?
Lipped.
Lipped. Lipped down.
Not get lit. Get lipped.
Lipped.
That is beautiful. That rail as well. I've never seen that in real life.
Tesco's,
Yeah.
Is that Tesco's as you come in?
Oh yeah.
Martlesham.
Oh, it's Martlesham one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ah,
he lived
right,
at
yeah.
Martlesham.
Local
We used to
football.
go up there.
Like from flat, that's mental.
But those rails are really high. Sandy, they've got one in Sudbury like that, and they've got those metal grates along the bottom. And that just makes it super impossible to get up onto, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you've got that weird metal like thing at the bottom. You have to go on at the beginning.
Waist high.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that time, but Ben used to live around the corner, so if we'd be editing or whatever, we'd go for a skate and maybe get footage if someone needed a trick. Like they had like motorway curbs there as well, so it's quite a good spot.
But you can tell on a rail when it's fucking burly, when you're fully like squatted up underneath the ground. Do you know what I mean? You have to fully huck yourself underneath it. It's just like, that's just...
I like the way there's just a board in shot for in front of the camera.
Oh shit, yeah, I didn't even see that. It was camouflage.
Just filming on a session, isn't it? Like, just sit over there and...
I like that. Just taking turns, right, you go.
But Carl, we were talking about that the other night, that sometimes the sessions for this, the filming for this wasn't a premeditated thing. It just seemed to be like more casual, more like an approach. Oh, we're here, we're doing this, we're trying this, and we'll just film, and everyone will try and get something, and everyone just try and jump in. Were all the sessions like that with you guys?
A lot of them, you just go to a spot, and then whoever was skating good or felt like doing something, they'd generally get filmed. So and you'd probably do the trick first before you tried to film it. So it was.
There's an S-Day hoodie there, isn't it?
Yeah. But this spot typifies that, doesn't it? This like 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah.
Everyone always skating here. Just a real nice vibe at this spot.
That place got rinsed, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Such a good line.
Yeah, really good.
But again, backtails in line, quick grinds down benches in lines. It's not, at this time, this stuff wasn't really happening, I don't think, that much. But he's just got a real casualness to it, hasn't he? Just like a real nice push and everything. I'm geeking out now, but that's what I like to know. Back to London, St Paul's. This is sick. I always
Chalky Ledgers.
Yeah,
that's really early days, isn't it?
Yeah, really early. But I always love that lip slide, because to come out to fakie like...
That's harder than regular for sure, especially on something as rugged as that. Well, it's rugged when I've been there. Me and Juna are babies, so we don't really know. But you could barely skate that by the time I had it.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh.
No, this is fresh here. Carl, were you here on that session?
I don't think I was on that one, no. I think
because they're still relatively unscathed there, aren't they? Those ledges,
they're
not smashed up or anything.
Yeah, I think there was the odd picture around about that time, but no one. It wasn't like a spot to session. I think it was just like a quick hit, and that was it. But yeah, he never took long to do anything, so they probably were on their way to somewhere else. And
he has that casualness about it. He just kind of does stuff, which is amazing.
Is there someone in the phone box?
Yeah, I just noticed that. I was going to say that too. Looking at BGPs.
As Atty in the background.
I've got the angle, guys. I've got the angle.
That is perfectly filmed. Here we go then. So,
yes.
Gloves,
just two t-shirts, perfect.
I'm going to stop it and play it again.
The tray flip, doesn't move his feet. His feet are just completely
crazy.
over the board.
He's already done it in his head.
Oh, that is a lovely tray flip.
Anyone who's ever skateboarded knows that is that moment.
Yeah.
When you catch it with your front foot, but you actually land basically on your back foot a bit, that's beautiful.
What I love here is, despite the fact that Sepultura are raging in the background, you can still hear everyone in the background just let it go, just got holler because that tray flip. They're all like, whoa! That background, that's you, Carl, in the background, isn't it? And
me, Ben Marr, and I can't. Maybe that's Frank. I don't know.
Frank filming, isn't he?
Oh yeah, maybe. Do you know who that third person is?
Maybe Wilson. I don't know.
Yeah, Wilson camo trousers, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably is actually. Yeah.
Wilson here. Trousers. This is Wilson here, isn't it? That's you.
Yeah, it could be.
Look at that back foot though.
Cool check. That is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's the board? What's the board he running?
Lion King? What is it?
Lion King.
Probably a tree fall.
That's a tree fort, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the only person who was really on that was like Vinnie Ponti, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Jimmy
Like-
Chadwick.
Just love all the colours here as well, though. Look, it's just that miserable day, wet on the floor, classic British kind of like vibe.
Yeah.
It's the same outfit as the backside flip.
Yeah,
One-
it's the same day.
on it.
It's the same day.
Looks like there's all of London the same day as well. So there's not
Yeah.
many sessions in.
But I think they used to happen with scene videos, isn't it? It wouldn't be a different outfit or different board every spot. You'd film a load of stuff because there'd be that.
Back it up. Yeah.
You couldn't.
You had to.
Yeah, I think as well. And everyone's trying to film. Everyone's trying to get somewhere. It's not like you've got your own filmer or some bullshit like that. It's all like everyone's just trying to get something. So I think there's a little bit of pressure there. Well, not pressure, but a little bit of urgency to that kind of like filming of it. Anyway. This is just gnarly.
That's not a spot. It's just
That's not a spot.
wall.
Just a wall, yeah.
Just casually find a wall.
Slightly angled.
Yeah,
There's no
slightly.
angle to that, Rich. There's no angle.
You can't beat that. The toes just.
Yeah, that's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, that is just gnarly.
Yeah, that's right near Fison's, that spot. So,
Is it?
Oh yeah,
It's not a spot. It's not a spot. You can't call it a spot. It's
No.
not a spot. That's so gnarly though. And this is
decent exposure free time. That was the spot. So
Yeah.
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 Back to Halifax, sorry, MFI. Was that floor as bad back then as it was in a later time? Because when I went there, it was just nightmare.
gravel. It's gravel here. It's
awful.
it's just at the end of the bars, it was all like stone loose and stuff. But
We said that the other week.
If you got a main strip, it'd be all right.
Yeah.
But we said last week that some of that footage of Frank, that the bars are actually sunk down a little bit. So before you get to them, you kind of have to make your ollie early because there's like a little lip there, isn't there, almost? Remember that? Or is it still there? I'm sure it's still there. Is it still there? Can you still skate it?
Yeah. It's like something different. They've taken some bars away and it's been resurfaced. So the bars are like lower than they were.
Right.
Perfect. Let's go.
Yeah.
As we get older, the bars get lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. South Bank footage.
Hey.
I always love that, like straight on 50-50 as well.
And a 50 at speed like that just looks great.
Yeah.
Just powerful. You just got that, like this wall ride, this line here. There's that. I think I made a comparison with you, Carl, the other night. That kind of Ricky Iola kind of like speed to everything. You know what I mean? He's got that.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the metal track that's doing it as well. But I always had that kind of Eastern exposure feel in my head when watching this.
Yeah. Kind of like a young Fred Gould type.
Oof,
Yeah.
nice
Ooh,
comparison.
there it goes.
Nicely
Yeah.
done.
Ben will love that.
I hope Ben likes that. Yeah, a good
Yeah.
young Fred Gore. Better looking Fred Gore. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Nice, long, crooked grind there. That's London again. That's what is it?
That's that gap, isn't it? That
Yeah.
Oh, backside flip.
Yeah, Channer.
I've
Into
still
the
got a
road.
scar on my arm from that session. Like I stuck on a lip slide and
Oh,
I dragged my arm on it.
Oh no.
what on that ledge?
Yeah.
Call that heel flip.
Yeah, it's a good ledge though.
Oof, yeah, just smooth though. Like you said, that relaxed kind of approach, even on the landings. There's nothing, you know. You get people nowadays who maybe put on a little bit of something at the end when they land a trick, and we've all seen it. People over styling when they come out. There's not even a shred of that in the way Ben skates. Do you know what I mean? It's just there's such a naturalness to it, and like that kind of.
He kept his speed, like
Yeah.
same speed going into the trick as he is coming out of it when he's landed it, whether it be a flip trick or a grind.
And that's super hard, isn't it? To keep
That's a
that
good point,
momentum,
yeah.
to keep that kind of energy the whole time, the flow and the energy, definitely.
I think someone skating fast, regardless of the trick, goes a long way with me because it's even if it's like that 50 at South Bank, smacking that out 10 miles an hour faster than the next person makes a big difference.
That attack, isn't it?
That is gnarly, isn't it?
That's horrible. That rail on the wall is horrible.
Yeah,
Just so burly.
it's not. It's one of those spot. It's the bus station, isn't it, Victoria?
Victoria,
And it's just a non-spot, really. But most people would look at that and go, no tar. And
There's your Fred Gall. There's your Fred Gall again, isn't it?
Yeah.
A handrail next to a wall, just like, oh.
I'd look at that column at the end and go, "Yep, that's where my face is going to go." So
it's your knees on the wall. Like, I think it plays to his stature. A lot to go wrong though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like Carl said, it's the East Coast vibe.
Yeah.
That Easter exposure, like.
Yeah. It
Definitely.
fitted well, wouldn't he?
It did.
Yeah.
I think the thing is about this line's amazing. I think the thing is about Ben is that everything he's doing is a fundamental, is a basic, if you want to talk about it in technical terms.
Yes,
but
totally
it's so perfectly executed that, like Veron said, it just looks good. Like an ollie always looks good if it's done right. A 50-50 always looks good if it's done right. It's not like he has to do anything super tech to amaze you or wow you. It's just like solid, standard, fundamental, just done really, really well.
I think that's the way when you skate quick. Like, you don't have time to say, "Oh, my arm, my legs are going to do that." You just do the trick and then get on with the next one.
Yeah, that's bang on.
This is gnarly, isn't it? Just like super fast, super quick.
Like even popping that little Zolly manual in, rather than some people would do a tray flip there or whatever, but he's just gone, "No, I want the speed still, so I'm gonna pop over that and do a little manual."
But it's that all-terrain, isn't it? It's just like hitting everything in your path. It's not like, "Oh, I'll just avoid that, or I'll just keep pushing and do some burly ollie at the end." It's like, I'm just skating, I'm just cruising, and this is happening.
Yeah, that's true.
See, I'm next to him at the start of it, and then I'm at the bottom of the stairs to start.
How did that happen? How does that happen?
I don't know how it got past.
Because I watched this the other day, and I was like, "That's not Carl next to him. It can't be, because he's at the end." And then,
how the hell did you do that?
I think I was just following him. So it was quite a long line. So we were like, "Well, if it takes 20 goes, I'm stood at the bottom."
Where do you go, around the back or something?
No, like if
you've peeled
when the
out,
line starts, you can see me on the right hand side.
Yeah. What I love about this though, and this is a real testament to how close you and Ben were, Carl, is that kind of that just rapturous kind of like applause when he does it. Almost, it's so brotherly. I really like this. Like the hands up and like kind of like, "Oh," do you know what I mean? It's like that. Just, totally like stoked for him and everything.
Yeah, we mentioned that in a few episodes. Well, whatever episode it was, where it was this little bit where everyone be quiet for the edit, then cheer. But I like it when everyone goes mental or just enjoys it. Like, it makes it so much better.
It's been building up for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think there seemed to be that natural kind of, you could see on video the grouping, the kind of camaraderie between everyone, even in like Tough Guys or in X-Rental or anything like that. You can see that people are a crew, and especially in footage like this, it's nice to see that people are just like, do you know what I mean, stoked on other people as well.
Yeah.
Is that like a kid? What's that little kid doing though? Carl's like giving him props.
No, he's with us. It's like Giles. It's like Petra's little brother.
Oh wow!
Like he was skating along as well. Like.
He's so stoked.
Section, isn't he? He's got a few tricks in the friends section.
Yeah. Crown pools like that.
Yeah. He's so stoked. Look.
Those stairs were horrible as well. I only skated there once, but nobody got anything down there. Really.
I think aren't they the rails that two people, Seth Curtis and is it Dan Cates had doubles like dropping in on that rail.
Oh yeah, no, it is, yes.
Because they had a little kink at the bottom, so they weren't really
not fun.
Yeah,
not fun.
Can you remember where this spot was? Because I only skated there once or twice, and for the life of me can't remember where it is.
This is pools. Parts and pools, the top part where everyone's skating.
It's gone now, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think so.
Yes, Great White Wall was around the corner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where you start. When Ben starts the line, if you go the other way, like to the right angle, that's where Shannon did that long kink.
Yes, Paternoster, isn't it? It's Paternoster up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the top, yeah. Sick.
Nice. This hill flip coming up, that is
nice.
Sick.
Where's that?
I've just realised where that is, what school that is now.
Ads, where is it?
I can't remember what school's called.
That's the Gap, yeah.
It's Frank backside flip the Gap.
St. Mark's.
Yeah.
To
With
the
a
right.
broken board.
You know where Frank does that long half cab board slide 5-0?
Oh, yeah.
That school is opposite that.
Oh, wow.
Is it time to name drop?
Yeah,
skated with Rat Trader.
Wow.
It's random.
Artie, what you skated with Rat Trait at that school?
And Jensen and Colin Kennedy.
Oh, hold on, you've dropped something, Richard. Pick it up.
Yeah.
3 things. Yeah, it was like the first one's like.
You need to pick your luggage up and piss off, mate. He's dropped some serious names there.
How did that come about?
What were they filming for? Was it first? No. Was it first broadcast?
Was I there? Don't tell me I was there, because I can't remember.
I bet Ads was there. Ads, you had to be there, surely.
I might have been, yeah.
If those 3 were there, surely.
Oh my
What did Rattray backside? You see that wall, sort of, there, and there's a big long cobbled bank.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
Rattray backside flipped it.
Yeah.
Frank backside flipped it, didn't he? I think he snapped 3 boards dry.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And so what is that in a new video?
I've seen that somewhere. I'm sure I've seen it on some footage that Adam showed me that he filmed as well.
It's not his 0 part, is it? One in there.
They put some benches down it and
Chewy,
yeah.
Chewy and Cy Holbrook, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, good shout. What video is that in? I've seen that. Oh, can't remember. There's gonna be so many here.
Memory's gone.
Here we go. Boom.
That's insane.
No
Especially back then.
Oh,
Especially back then, like
this is a measuring stick. This is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Considering Smithy, years later pops him, and you're like, that's amazing. But he's done it back then.
Yeah.
It also must be like the end of the session, maybe before the train home or something. So it's like to have the legs after a day in London. I'm guessing anyway.
Were you there on this one?
No, I'm just guessing because it's the same gear.
I said, Carl, were you there on
and
this
it's
one?
night time. Oh, sorry.
No, I don't think so. No.
This is just a random one, is it?
Yeah.
It's just insane. It's mental.
It is mental. Those steps are so big. I remember years later going there and just walking up them and then suddenly realising what steps they were and just going, fucking hell, this is so big.
They're so long. Like, the height is big enough, but the length of them is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's mad.
you wouldn't get long there either, so he must have done it.
No, that is a total bust at that point, isn't it? Well, I mean, it always is, I think, but that is just like... I tell you, his lower back's going to be hurting him the next day, though, definitely.
And that's why he's not in this chat.
he's got lower lumbar problems. Yeah, he can't talk.
Still icing up.
You got to feel his pain here at this point, though.
Oh yeah. This is where you can allow the hand up because like Gon said, end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's just jump down 15 stairs.
I've climbed it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You can look how far he clears it as well.
No, it's miles, isn't it?
It's the way it levels out. It's just sort of like up and out. Kind of.
Was this a poster or a photo in a mag?
It was a poster, I think.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? That's mental.
Was it
sidewalk, or was it
sidewalk 15? Or it's the number of steps, isn't it, or something like that?
13.
That rings a bell.
That's mental.
I need to see that. I need to dig out the photo. No, I need to see that.
Like each step's quite long.
Yeah,
you can tell there. Yeah, brilliant.
Remember his picture in Transworld?
What?
In Transworld.
You ever see his picture in Transworld?
Yeah, I knew he had a photo in Transworld. What photo was it?
It's a melancholy.
Oh, on that little thing.
Yeah.
That Huff ollied as well. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember. Who shot that?
Wig. I think I was there. I think it was Wig. It must have been Wig.
I've seen the footage of that somewhere as well.
Nice.
It's one of those ones. There's so much going on at this time. It's so busy. Do you know what I mean? And there's everything all happening. Nice. That spot went early, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it was around for years, but nobody had anything on it. And then as it was getting
destroyed, didn't it?
Then it went to... That's underneath the new stock exchange, someone told me.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask where that is. Yeah.
Yeah, so not literally, someone said, I said it the other day, and somebody said, what, still there? But like the sort of footprint, as it were, is now underneath the stock exchange.
So gnarly, though, isn't it?
That is mental. Like, you compare that. So in America, that would be marble. You'd tail slide. You'd be able to do blunt on it. But in England, it's grimy. It's got moss on it.
You know, you're going to die. Slippery as hell going down it as well.
There's some crack down the bottom. You're going to fall. That's mental.
So back to Victoria for the ender.
That's a leap and a half.
That is a leap, isn't it? I was trying to get hold of it because Wig shot this. I was trying to get hold of the photo because it's so hard to
Look at
see.
that.
It's so hard to see in the footage, isn't it?
I was going to say, can you catch the flash?
There we go. Yeah. There it is.
It's just so gnarly, though, isn't it?
I never met Ben, but was he tall? Because he looks short in footage. I know that's
he's
stupid.
tiny.
Is it? Because I was going to say, he's got some serious pop, isn't he? For a short guy.
Crazy pop, just a crazy pop. That's so big, though, isn't it, Carl?
Yeah, it's a big one, for sure.
That's a big one.
And that's the ender. Good night.
But yeah, I think you go quite close to the ledge on the side, so you had to like clear it by quite a distance.
Yeah, he really does clear it by quite a distance as well. It's just that pop over, isn't it?
I love the way the photographer is it Star?
It's Wig.
It's Wig because he's got his backpack on. Look, he's
ready to go.
So good.
Quick
ready
getaway.
to run.
Quick getaway, yeah.
I think that was a time where you couldn't just set all your gear up and everything. You had to be ready to go, though, didn't you? People,
there's a strobe up. There's a remote.
There's
on the top, isn't there?
Yeah.
You rewind.
Look how early he pops as well. Like how soon before the pop is.
It's gnarly. It is gnarly.
I don't remember anyone else coming near looking at that. Like, people went over the rails where they're by themselves. But
that's nuts.
Yeah, beautiful, good section.
Why was Ben always just? I don't know. It always just drawn to that kind of crazy shit like that. Like you said, no one was stepping to that. No one was doing stuff like that. Was that something he was conscious of? Do you think, or?
I don't know. Ipswich just seemed to have a lot of stairs gaps, and everyone was out and about, so everyone would just sort of try and he was really good at it. So.
Why not?
He was very, very good at throwing himself down things. I think, Carl, we were saying this the other night. I think when you've got that smaller centre of gravity and you're a bit smaller, things like that seem more approachable. When you're a taller guy, and this is where my perspective
that's what I'm
comes in.
saying.
Yeah.
Might not be true.
We're going to stick with that, aren't we? If you're taller, that shit seems bigger. And you're smaller, it's okay. You can get down it. Mondon, why didn't you get down more things? You're only little.
I'm planning on going one up on him on this.
You're going to front side 180 or back side 180 or something?
Yeah. Both probably, yeah, to be honest.
Oh dear.
Sure. That's amazing. Wig swinger.
Yeah.
you can see the compression on that as well.
Brilliant.
Very good.
Yeah. Brilliant section.
Yeah, it's an amazing section. I think what's really good about it is the fact that it's a really pivotal moment in Ipswich history and British skateboarding history. That video coming out, really setting alive for kind of people, do you know what I mean? Getting people excited, getting people just stoked on a scene. And I think for me, that really made me go, oh shit, even just down the road, amazing things are happening. I think that's a really powerful thing, especially when you grow up living in like a little tiny village, when you see something on a national scale where you're like, wow, I'm a part of this in some tiny, minute way. I think that's really exciting for young people.
There's a lot of Ipswich in playing fields, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it me or is that's the first, like, I mean, it was a big video because it was kind of I think I said to Adam the other day, it was kind of first broadcast version, sort of like a beta version of what, insofar as it had people from all different sort of sponsors and different scenes in one video, and filmers as well. And
I think that unification, that bringing together of all those scenes, and just made you realise that the British Isles were quite a small entity, and that people were connected through skateboarding. I think that's the important, for me anyway, that video seems to kind of always have that aspect, and I think that's why it's so loved, is that it just really unified British people in the United Kingdom, do you know what I mean, with skateboarding. I think that for me anyway, I don't know how you guys feel about playing fields, but I always had that kind of...
I think now it's still quite South-centric though, isn't it, from what I remember?
Well, no, you've got a lot of people from up north, a lot of Nottingham scene, like you said. You've got, do you know what I mean, Harry, Alan Rushbrook. You've got Danny Wainwright in there. You've got, do you know what I mean? All Alex Mole with a part in there. Oxford, all these big heavy hitters. Yeah, exactly. Collins' part in there.
Oh, I forgot he was in it.
Yeah, and that part is amazing, and you just forget how.
True. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Then, yeah, I in midst of time, I kind of forgotten about those. That kind of. I do remember though that everyone was talking about it when it came out. I can't remember how it was distributed or what at all.
I just, like I said, I just remember it being there all of a sudden, and I was like, oh shit, there's Carl. Do you know what I mean? He's in the video. Carl, how does it feel like now in retrospect, having been like an actual visual part of that? Is that something that kind of you're really proud of being a part of that? Or?
Yeah, it's good. At the time, I was not that happy because I wanted more stuff, but but I think looking back, like, I don't know, whatever it was, 6 tricks and a few slams was a quite good thing to have in a sort of a nationwide video sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know how long it got taken to put together, like the actual filming wise? Did you have a tight deadline?
Not that. Can I just say, Artie's got a trick in it as well.
Yeah, we know he's powerful. I forgot.
That's next week.
Yeah, that's next week. I'm doing a full episode just on Artie's one trick there. What was it, half cab board slide, or was it?
Nollie board.
Nollie.
Nollie lip. Come on.
Come on. Call yourself a fan. Come on, mate.
I'll get Artie to autograph my copy next time I see it. It's all good.
It freaked me out seeing it in Slam for sale.
Yeah.
The original video. Like,
yeah, that's another
going in
level.
Slam. I think it was, just on a day trip to London, not skating, and there's like, oh, I got a trick in that video.
I'm in that one.
I mean, you just saying it to yourself, going, and Slam are selling it because it's Slam.
Yeah.
I mean, even back, what was it, 97? I mean, Slam's always been massive, but like,
big deal.
See it there, because I kind of thought my mates have made this video, kind of weirdly, and it's got loads of Ipswich. You just think, it's kind of a local video, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because I don't know how I got a copy of it, but we used to watch it, all of us, when we were younger, and I thought it was an Ipswich video as well. I was the same as you there, because I saw the Ipswich stuff. I was like, oh, the rest of it must be Ipswich. We haven't found it yet, but obviously it wasn't.
We haven't found it?
Yeah.
Those spots, they're out there somewhere.
Walking for hours trying to find the stuff like that. It must be something
Edinburgh, 3 miles.
Yeah.
Where's that South Bank? Oh, it's just off the A12.
Apart from that, maybe, yeah.
It was the first video with like a real art direction as well, like the cover, the kind of like the segue bits, the kind of theme throughout the whole thing, the Grange Hill kind of vibe, and I just think that it had just to typify British culture so well in a skateboard video. Like when everyone's trying to be like Americanized, mid-90s, people are trying to be like American companies and doing all that. This was the first video I felt like, and as well as those earlier Ipswich videos, where suddenly you've got a bit of like, this is us, this is who we are, this is what we're about. And I think it's a great video to kind of capture that moment anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of like UK hip hop kind of thing, where finding your own voice, isn't it, and being proud of it kind of thing. And I kind of had that feel. And the thing I most remember is I was down in Southsea at the time when Tough Guys came out, and I never watched it until some years later, but I'd seen photos and stuff like that. I seem to remember this is probably the first video I saw what was coming out of Ipswich, and like I say, apart from the interviews in the magazines and the photos, and it was like, woof, this is like,
yeah. I think that's a surprising thing, and I was saying this to someone the other day, is that I think the people involved in that scene, Carl, Richard, whoever, and all those other people, they didn't really see the impact of it. But when you're living in like a tiny little village, like Sandy and I were in Sudbury, do you know what I mean? And just down the road, there were all these dudes making videos in magazines. And it kind of gave you, I'm not saying hope, that's a weird thing, but just like you were like, oh, people are doing this shit and they live in the same kind of place as us. Mondon, you come from like tiny little house to, do you know what I mean? And suddenly you're a part of this bigger kind of scene, and it brings people together, doesn't it? And I think it's an amazing, positive kind of like,
definitely. It makes things more achievable, I think, when you see something like that locally.
More real.
You can actually get involved in something like that. Did Tough Guys have a cover? Did it have like an official?
No.
Nah.
The one I saw had like those, in the video box, you'd get the stickers and it just had tough guys made out of the little letters.
Right, okay.
That's what I remember.
That's the one I remember.
Just being
I
like,
can't. I think Pedge had it, or I can't remember who I saw.
I can't remember where I saw.
It's amazing how the copies get spread around though, because
Yeah.
it wasn't like a video that was
black
released.
market video. Just getting
Yeah.
like, here you go, mate. Have this.
Amazing. Spread
Awesome.
far and wide.
Well, I think
Brilliant.
we're there, folks. We've done an hour on
Good
this
section.
one, so thanks for joining us this evening. I hope we did Ben proud. I hope you can watch this back and see that we all love him. He's done well, I think, putting that out there. So thanks, Carl. Thanks, Rich, for joining us. Thanks to
No
everyone
probs.
else for
Cheers,
joining in.
chaps.
Nice to see you guys.
Stay safe, stay
Yeah, nice to see
alert,
you all.
apparently. And we'll see you all next time. All right? Take it easy.
Cheers.
Yeah. See you guys.
Cheers, chaps.
Bye.